Hello, this is Kate from dailytarotgirl.com, and this is your weekly reading. This week it's going to be an oracle card reading. I usually do tarot, but this week I felt drawn to use a deck that was softer and maybe a little more wishy-washy, a little more gentle. So I'm going to be reading with Cheryl Richardson's self-care cards. All right. Okay, so I'm going to draw 3 cards. Each card is going to represent a portion of the upcoming week. I had a really hard time picking a deck. All my tarot decks I wasn't drawn to them, even the really uplifting ones, so that's why I chose this deck. I haven't read with this deck in a while. So let's have a look at the first card. The first card is Rejuvenation. And the message on the back is get a good night's sleep, rejuvenate your body, mind, and spirit. I could use a good night's sleep. I had the worst sleep last night. I got woken up really, really early, and then I immediately fell back to sleep, and then both of my cats came in my bedroom and started crawling all over me, and then they would leave, and then 20 minutes later they'd come back and do it again. So I had like 4 hours sleep last night. It was horrible. Okay, so the card is about rejuvenation, and it's about resting your body, mind, and spirit. And this is an interesting card because I think most of us, in a lot of ways, even though many of us, I think, are not at work right now or staying home, it's providing ample time to rejuvenate, although I think most of us aren't really in that mode. I think most of us are worried or maybe going into kind of a negative thought spiral. And so what I find interesting about this card, and one thing that I've found kind of interesting about the whole pandemic, is that so many things have come to a standstill. And we're so accustomed to life moving along at this fast, clipping pace, where things happen no matter what. And so for all these things to just shut down, it feels on some level like a rejuvenation of sorts, even though I think for many of us, we're not looking at it that way. We're not experiencing it that way. And one positive thing that's come from this is I've heard that a lot of cities have had like dolphins coming really close to the shore because there isn't the boat traffic. And I've heard that like a lot of pollution is decreasing. And so I feel like this is an opportunity right now to focus on rejuvenation, despite the feeling of chaos and despite all the crap that's going on. This is an opportunity to rejuvenate, to rest. And yeah, I might come back to this card, but I want to move on to the next card. So this next card is for the middle of the week, so Wednesday and Thursday. And the next card is Revelation. And the message on this card is listen to your life. The right path will reveal itself. Okay. Sometimes I don't know what to make of these cards, so just bear with me. Okay, my camera seems to keep losing focus. Okay. Revelation. All right, so this idea of, well, first of all, I like the fact that it's come after rejuvenation, and we have this repeated symbol of the shell. It looks like she's sort of sleeping in a shell or coming out of a shell, and here she's holding a shell to her ear. And this idea of listening to your life, I feel like this is also about listening to yourself, listening to your intuition, what's going on within. And I feel like now is a time to go inward. And what's interesting is that we can't, for many of us, we can't go outward because that avenue has been blocked. You can't just go out and do things like you used to. And I think what's important, and I think what's interesting is I've noticed this myself because I can't go out and do things like I used to. Instead of going within, I'm looking for distractions. So I'm looking for ways to go outside of myself, even though I'm at home. So, I'm going online, watching stuff on Netflix. I'm looking for sort of other things to entertain me and distract me. And what I really want to try to do, which I think this card is supporting, is I want to try to go within more and use this time. And I think there's going to be a lot of time that we're going to be at home, and use some of this time, not all of this time, but some of it to go on an inward journey. And when we go inward, we have revelations about things. And I think that that's an important thing to remember. And I want to move on to the next card. So the next card is for the end of the week. So Friday, Saturday, Sunday. And this card is peace. And the message on this card is, I like this message. Embrace your confusion. Let there be peace in not knowing all the answers. I think that's a really good message, especially at this time. Embrace your confusion and let there be peace in not knowing all the answers. So I think this is an interesting concept, that even in the midst of chaos, even when, it may seem like everything's just going to shit and everything's like a total disaster, we can still find peace. And I'm going to turn the card over so we can look at the image here. Peace is, like, inner peace is not dependent on what is going on around you. Because life is always going to be chaotic on and off at times. Some people's lives are chaotic all the time. And if you're lucky, there's periods of chaos and periods of peacefulness. But if you rely on the outside world to bring you peacefulness, if you wait, for a vacation to feel peaceful, or if you wait for everyone to agree with you before you can feel peaceful, or if you're waiting to be in a good relationship before you can feel peaceful, you'll never find peace. And so I feel like the message of this card is about embracing peace as a state of being now, despite what's going on. And I don't really know how to do that. I know I can do that, but I just don't know the steps. I know, focusing on your breath is one really powerful thing. Getting out in nature, those things really help me find peacefulness. But also, don't put pressure on yourself to feel peaceful. It's okay to feel upset. It's okay to feel unpeaceful, not at peace. But just know that you can find moments of peace for yourself. And just because you found peace one day doesn't mean it's going to be there the next day or the next moment. It can come and go. And so I think the message of this card is, for the weekend, focus on, I want to say becoming peace. Like, if you don't feel peaceful inside, is there a way that you could act peaceful? Is there an action that can cultivate peacefulness? Like right now, I'm feeling super stressed about the fact that I'm almost out of rubbing alcohol. And I use it for a lot of different things. And I know a lot of stores are out of stock and have been for a while. And I'm also getting stressed about how, I may not have enough canned goods. Maybe I should go out and buy more. And I'm wanting to leave and go shopping. And I don't have to. I actually have a lot of supplies and food here, so I don't have to go out right this moment. So on the inside, I don't feel peaceful in this moment, but I'm trying to think, what can I do today to cultivate peace? I know rushing out to the drugstore looking for the stuff that I need is not going to cultivate peace for today. But I know that going for a walk this morning will. And I know that spending time with my cats and my foster kitty is going to cultivate peace, and I might do some yoga. So I'm gonna try to focus on those things. Okay, so let's look at all three cards together. Oh, we've got rejuvenation, revelation, and peace. I feel like this idea of revelation, which is where you perhaps have a really wonderful watershed moment, or you have an idea, you come to a revelation, it can only happen after rejuvenation, or it happens more easily after rejuvenation. So allowing yourself time to rest. Be as gentle on yourself as you can be. And being gentle on yourself means not allowing your mind to totally spiral into negative thinking. So there's a bunch of things I do that aren't good for me, like watching the news right before bed. I did that last night, which is probably why I didn't sleep good. And then just like really letting your mind go to those dark places. Sometimes we need to do this, but we don't need to do it every day, all day. So be gentle on yourself. And at the end of the week, there is peace. And I feel like it's about finding inner peace. So thank you so much for watching. I hope you found this reading helpful. And let me know how you're doing in the comments below. I'm going to make it a goal to respond to every comment on this video. So let me know how you're doing, how you're feeling, what's going on for you. I'd love to hear from you. So thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next week.